Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Khalifatul Hasana. I will explanation about functional theories of translation. Introduction. Functional theories from Germany in the 1970 to 1980 mark a move away from linguistic typologies toward a consideration of culture. Text type. Her functional approach aimed entirely at systematizing the assessment of translation. It's borrowed from the categorization of the three functions of language by German physiologist and linguistic Karl Wechsler. The first, informative function, representing object and facts, and the second, expressive function, expressing standard attitude, and the third, appellative function, making an apple-to-text reservoir. Characteristics of each text type is follow. The first, informative text type, plain communication of facts, information, knowledge, opinion, age. And the second, expressive text type, creative composition. The author uses the aesthetic dimension of language. And the third, operative text type, including behavioral responses. The aims of the appellative function is to appeal to or persuade the reader or receiver of the text to act in a certain way. For example, to buy a product if an advert or to agree to an argument. And the fourth, audio media text, such as film and visual and spoken advertisement with supplement the three function with visual image, music, age, and translatorial action. Translatorial action views translation as purpose-driven, outcome-oriented human interaction. Interlingual translation is described as translatorial action from a source text. The first, the initiator, the company or individual who needs the translation, and the second, the commissioner, the individual or agency who contacts the translator, and the third, the SD producer, the individual within the company who write, and the fourth, the TT producer, the translator and the translation agency or department, and the five, the TT user. For example, a teacher using a translated textbook or a rep using sales brochures, and the six, the TT receiver. For example, the student using the textbook in the teacher class or client reading the translated sales brochures. Translatorial action focuses very much on producing a TT that is functionally communicative for the receiver. Scopus theory. Scopus is the Greek word for aim or purpose and was introduced into translation theory in the technical term for the purpose of translation and of the action of translating. Rice and Vermeer aim for a general translation theory for all texts. The first part set out a detailed explanation of Vermeer's Scopus theory. The second part, specific theories. It separates functional text type model to the general theory. Discussion of Scopus theory. The first, what purports to be a general theory is in fact only valid non-literary text, and the second, Scopus theory, considers different phenomena and cannot be lumped together, and the third, translation theory, where workable terms already exist, and the fourth, Scopus theory does not pay sufficient attention to the linguistic nature of the ST, not to the reproduction of micro-level features in the TT. Translation-oriented text analysis. Documentary translation serves as a document of a search-cultured communication between the author, and the ST recipient. Three aspects of functionalist approaches that are of particular use of translator training. These are the first, the importance of the translation commission, and the second, the role of ST analysis, and the third, the functional hierarchy of translation problem. Okay, I think enough. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.